Hello. Happy Friday, everybody. Let me just pull out my basket. Oops. Hope everybody's doing well today. I've been doing a little bit of creating. My room is a disaster, but what else is new? So today we are going to be playing with the Magical Meadow stamp set. Hey, Do. That is or will be available in the mini catalog when it comes out. Let me just tighten this up. I don't know why it looks a little fuzzy today. So that's the stamp set we'll be using. And it also comes with dies. So we can die cut this stand of trees or this stand of trees. I'm just going to pull that up a little bit. And the berries and the leaves. So that is what's included. And then there's also an embossing die with snowflakes. Okay. So today's fun fold is a fun fold that I have not yet done. So it's new to me as well as it is new to you. I'm just getting all my pieces out of my box here. Because again, there's lots and lots of pieces. It seems like I just love putting puzzles together. Because we've got lots of pieces. All right. So we're going to be playing with, and I just want to, let me just get a piece of tape and get this down. I didn't change the paper on my table because I was creating my next craft box subscription, and when you get involved, it seems like the time just flies by, and I didn't get a chance to change it. All right, so we are going to be playing with the cardstock, the designer series paper that goes with the Magical Meadow dies. And we're using Misty Moonlight. And we're starting off with a base that measures 11. Yeah, I make order out of chaos. 11 by 5 1/4. All right, that's the base we're starting with. And then we are going to score it at 1 3/4, 3 1/2, 5 1/4, and 7. All right, so it's scored in a few different places. Now this is going to be the back of the card. So we're going to fold it over towards the right. And then we're going to fold the score line to the left. And then we're going to fold it towards the right. And then again towards the left. All right, so now you are left with, after you're folding, we're left with a 4 by 5 1/4 size card. Okay, now we're going to decorate it. And like I said, we're using the designer series paper that goes with this set. And I'm actually going to put this piece inside first. We're going to lay the foundation so you can see how it goes along. So we're going to lay this on the inside of our card. Oops. Just want to make sure it's on here straight. All right, so that's the inside of our card. Now I'm going to jump to the front. I used some silver foil. I should have 4 of them. All right, you little stinker. Where'd you go? Here it is, right here. All right, so we have 4 panels of silver foil, and these measure 5 1/8 by 1 5/8. And we're actually going to just adhere these. I'm going to open this up. We're going to adhere them to these 4 panels. So we're just going to add some glue. I'm actually going to start over here. And we want to get this in here and lined up. And try to get it in there as, oh, look at my fingerprints, straight as can be. Okay. Then we're going to get the second panel. Now I can use this one as a guide. So I can add this second panel. I'm just going to scoot it up a little bit. All right. Then we'll grab our third panel. And as I go, I'm just using the one next to it as a little bit of a guide. Just so we can get these on here as straight as we can, okay? And then one more. And this is actually the very front. All right, that's the front panel after it's all folded together. Hey, Karen. Oh, goodness. All right, now I am going to be using 4 more panels of the Designer Series paper, okay? And these measure 1 3/8 by 4 7/8. And then I have to decide how I want these laid out. And I'm actually going to start with a blue one on the front, so the berries and the leaves or foliage don't clash with this back piece. All right. So I'm just going to go blue, foliage, blue, foliage. All right. And like I said, I want the blue on the front so it doesn't clash with that back piece. And then we're going to just, again, lay this down. And we're going to get this in here, again, as straight as we can. Now we want to do one with the foliage, so we'll lay this down. And we have to try to be careful not to get any adhesive like I did right there on our piece. Okay, this one is going to be a blue one. Oops. And then we have one more. All right, so there are the panels. All right, we're going to give that a minute to dry so it doesn't shift. And now I just want to make sure I have the right pieces here. All right, that one. It's funny, the silver bases. All right. I just want to make sure I have these right. And all right, where the heck did that other piece go? There we go. All right, so that's that. I'm putting these together because there's a lot of different pieces here that I want for the front. All right, there we go. I wanted to get them all sorted out. Now we're going to take some Misty Moonlight, and this is 6 by 3, and I scored it at 3. Okay, so we're just going to fold it in half. So we have a little piece, 6 by 3, scored at 3. And we are going to, again, layer this up. We're going to add some silver foil. I want to straighten this out a little bit. There we go. We're going to layer it with a piece of silver foil. And then we're going to layer it with another piece of Misty Moonlight. So let's get our glue. I'm going to actually do that right now. And this silver piece, just get this on here, measures 2 7/8 by 2 7/8. And then we're going to layer it with a piece of Misty Moonlight, 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. All right. And we're just going to let that dry. We also have a piece of basic white that's 2 5/8 by 2 5/8. That's going to go on the front of there. Let's just pull our card back in. This, like I said, now that it's dry, when it's folded up, this is our front panel. Okay? Now with the dies to this set, they have this really pretty little sprigs, and I cut them out in Misty Moonlight. And I am actually going to add some glue, and I'm going to add it to this piece here. And then we're going to do this one. And I'm going to add it right here. I'm not going to worry about that centerpiece too much right now. All right. Now this piece is going to be adhered on here. And this is going to be our front. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this piece and I'm actually going to, let me just grab my blending brush. And I'm going to grab some balmy blue. I think I want balmy blue. Let's see. Yeah. And we're going to just add a blue background. I don't want it dark. I just want to take away some of the harshness of the white. And then I took this stamp here. It's the trees. And I stamped it in Misty Moonlight. And then I die cut it. And this is what I'm left with. Okay. So I am going to add this right to the center of this piece. I'm going to glue it down. just like this. Center it as best I can. All right. And then I stamped this image here. I actually did this with the Stamping Right markers. Then I did this one here in Misty Moonlight and die cut it. And then I took the same sprig that I did on the front in Misty Moonlight, and I did it in Shaded Spruce. All right. And I am going to decorate the front. And I'm going to do it before we adhere it because I want to wrap a piece of ribbon around. Let's see, did I grab the ribbon? I did not. I didn't grab any ribbon. Let's see. Yes, let's use some silver. This way I can wrap a little piece of ribbon. So what I'm going to do first is I am going to grab this piece and I'm just going to add it onto the side. So I'm just going to glue it, and we can trim the edges, the ends off later. And then I'm going to do the same thing with this sprig. I am going to add some glue. And I'm just going to add it right over top. I'm actually going to put a couple little dots on these berries. So it just holds it down a little bit. All right, so we have that on there. I am going to grab some ruby red rhinestones, and wherever there is a spot for a berry, I'm going to add an embellishment. And there's quite a few. Now the die set does come with a die to create these little berries. And I'll show them to you when we get to the inside. I think there's actually 11, right? 3, 10. All right, so there are the berries on our sprig. Okay. Then I'm going to take these little berries here, and I'm just going to add it to this side, but I'm going to pop this one up. I'm not too sure where it's going to catch, so let's put one here. So we're just going to add this right to this side. All right. So we have our little house in the background. Now that that's there, I'm going to actually just feed that through. You know how I love to cheat here. I'm going to grab my glue dots. So is anybody doing anything good today? It's actually beautiful outside today. The weather is quite lovely. All right, so I'm just going to hold that in place. I'm just going to stick a glue dot down and catch that ribbon. Let's grab another one. I just do not like wrapping. And we're going to glue that one down there. All right. Now that that's there, I can trim off that bottom edge, and with the same ribbon, we're going to make a bow. So I'm not really too concerned about how it looks there because that's where our bow is going to go. Geez, I've been waking up each morning at 3:30. Can you believe it? I don't know what the heck is going on. That's like my bewitching hour lately. And then I can't go back to sleep, so it has been just a crazy couple days. I get so tired. All right, so here's our bow. Gonna grab another glue dot, and we're gonna add this bow right here so we can hide how that comes on top of our little house, okay? Or trees, I should say. Now I'm just going to pull back our piece, and I'm going to add some glue, and I can glue this because there's so much going on this piece, and we're going to lay it down just like that. All right, so there's that piece. Now for this side, I have another piece of, do I want the silver foil? No, I'm not using the silver foil. I'm using a piece of Misty Moonlight, and this should be 2 7/8 by 2 7/8. Then we have a piece that is 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. Now on this one, I'm going to add our sentiment. So let's just hold that here. And we'll grab our sentiment. Maybe we should do that one. Yeah, I think we'll do this one. I like the way this sits better. So this one says, the colder weather brings us together. I think that one goes much nicer. I want to make sure this is on here straight. And I am going to use our Misty Moonlight. And I'm just going to stamp this to make sure I have it on here straight. Oh, looks like I do. Okay, so let's ink it up really good, and we're going to add our sentiment right to the center. Hopefully I did it right. Yep. All right. And this is going to go right here. Oh, when I have ink on my fingers. So let's do that again. Never fails. Never, never, never fails. I gotta get a piece of paper. Hold on. I have no scraps left. So I'm gonna take a whole new sheet. Alright, sorry about that. I got it right on my thumb, and then when I went to pick it up, I got ink all over. All right, so let's just stamp this again right in the center. I'm going to make sure I have no glue on my fingers. I'm going to pull this piece back in and adhere this down. All right, so here's our sentiment, and this piece is going to go right on here. Now we could have decorated that a bit if you felt you needed to. All right, now we're going to bring our card back in. I have a piece of silver foil that's 2 3/4 by 2 3/4, and then basic white that is 2 5/8 by 2 5/8. Now for this piece, I want to leave this pretty much so it you have a place to sign your name, but I cut one of those sprigs again, and here are the little berries. It's a die that you can cut the berries out, and I figured we'd add that to the inside because it lays flat. Okay, so we're going to leave this plain. Let's grab some seal, and I'm going to put it on the basic white because it's a little harder to add it to the silver. And we're going to lay this down, and then we're going to take some glue, and this piece gets added to the center. So you want to get it so it's pretty well centered top to bottom and side to side, just like that. We're going to grab our sprig, and I'm going to just utilize where these berries go to add my glue. Just don't want it to come out too quick. So we'll just add a bit of glue. And then we're going to add it right here. Now you have to remember the fold, so you don't want it to get folded in. Let's add it right about here. All right, so that's the inside of your card. Now we're going to close this up, and we are going to, whoops, I just dropped it. Butterfingers. Add this piece to the front of our card, and we want to hide this. So let's add some glue just to this edge right here. And I'm going to make sure it hides this piece. I'm going to close this up, but I also want to make sure that it is centered top to bottom. All right. So we're just going to hold that down for a second and let this dry. And we're going to open it up, and this piece is going to be glued right here on this panel. So let's add some glue again. We just want it on the end, and then just close it so it is going to adhere. All right. So here is the front of our card. And then when you open it, you have your sentiment there and your backing there. So when it stands, it looks like that. Okay. And that is today's fun fold. I think this is a really pretty set. So I hope you like this one. Lots of pieces, right? But just a really pretty little card. Just want to make sure that glue holds. And you could do this with any color or any kind of stamp set. All right. So thanks for joining me today. I guess it's time for me to get back to work. So have a great rest of your day, and I will talk to you over the weekend. I hope the weather is really nice where you are, and I'll talk to everybody soon. Thanks for joining. Bye-bye.